Morning, my dear students. In today's class, I would like to discuss the chapter titled Center State Relations, Union Government, not Central Government. This is a speech made by Nani A. Palkiwala as part of the Heras Memorial Lecture in Bombay in 1972. Nani A. Palkiwala was an eminent jurist and a former ambassador to the US. He was born in 1920 in Bombay and died in 2002. He had a great respect for Indian constitutions and the cardinal principles in it. In this lecture, he talks about the constitutional rights guaranteed to the states and how these rights are taken away by the central governments. So he attacks the rule or the power that is exerted by the center on state governments. India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic country with 28 states and 8 union territories. Before attaining freedom, India was for more than 3 centuries was under the rule of the British. India is a republic. What do you understand by the term republic? In a republic, the supreme power lies in people and their elected representatives. It's not a state where the monarchs rules. So we have in our country the people, the citizens elect their members. So here in this speech, Palkiwala talks about some of the problems that our republic, our country faces, especially in relation with the state and the center. India is a quasi-federal state. That is, India is run modeling on the federal setup. But here we find that it's not purely federal in nature, but we have certain power vested on the center, and in certain areas, state also gets freedom. According to Palkiwala, in the last 22 years of our republic, many of the basic principles underlying the constitutions have been thrown overboard. This speech, remember, it was made in 1972. Now we are in 2020. We can analyze how our constitutional rights are being violated in various ways. In this speech, he addresses mainly the relationship between the state and the central government. According to him, the values of human dignity and public justice have been subverted, and the constitutional powers guaranteed to the states have been perverted, especially the power of the states to deal with industry and commerce have been perverted. And he says that the condition of states have been reduced to the nation states during the British period. So he's addressing mainly to the powers that are taken away from the state governments by the central government. When we talk about the structure of Indian system, we find that it's a quasi-federal in nature. It is not purely controlled by the center, but we know that the states have their own power. The Constitution guarantees some powers to the states, and the center has no right to curb that rights. This is the crux of his speech. We know that in today's context, how relevant this speech is. He says that the Constitution talks about the union, not of sender. This is very important. It's not the sender that controls the state. It's a union. That is the term that Constitution talks about. Difference between these two terms when we talk about sender and the union of states. The term sender brings to our mind a certain kind of hierarchy, whereas when we say union of states, it talks about a joint effort. So in a country like India, we expect a joint effort from the states. There is no imposition by the center. And here he says that there is a kind of imposition by the center, and the rights that the states have, or the constitutions guarantee rights to states, have been curbed. So this is going to be a big problem in future, and that's how he proceeds. I'll talk more about this speech and some of the interesting aspects that he shares, which is still relevant in the context of our country. So my dear students, we mentioned the term. You can answer some of the questions like, what is republic? Question number 1, what is republic? Number 2, what are the subversions and perversions that he talks about? These are 2 questions that we need to answer at the end of this class. Thank you.